Hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Maria, and I'm really happy to connect with you today. Something I've been thinking a lot about is this element of being afraid of my own intuition, and I just thought that there's probably other people out here that could relate. Um, I don't know if you don't know much about me. I started my business doing like psychic and energetic readings for people, and I love doing it. It was one of the best and funnest things for me to be able to share with other people. I enjoyed utilizing my intuition. I enjoyed the fun of it because there was no attachment for me to the outcomes of other people. But then I started becoming more aware of my intuition in terms of my own life. I would start getting really strong understandings of where I'm meant to be, what sort of things I'm going to experience. Like small scale would be like this person's going to message you, and then like getting a message from them like 10 minutes later, or smaller ideas about where I'm going to get the money to like pay for something, things like that. But then I had these like really big intuitive knowings about certain circumstances, certain relationships, larger amounts of energy, it felt like, that I was going to be experiencing. And those were the hardest to let go of, in the sense of trusting them to be true, because there was a part of me that was so terrified that if I believed it and it didn't end up happening, I would be disappointing myself. I'd be letting myself down. There was this element of fear of my own inner knowing. So either I would gaslight myself out of believing it to be true, or I would always be in preparation for the downfall of like it not coming to fruition. And I was just terrified and scared of how that knowing or that intuitive understanding of what is going to happen or how things are going to pan out would affect me and how they would affect other people. And it just became this element of being so terrified of myself and my inner voice. And something that I've been working through is understanding that I can have these layers of intuition and still be grounded physically in like my physical reality, even though the contradiction and the contrast between them seems really big. What I'm integrating and what I've learned is that in order to fully be able to trust our higher intuition, our higher knowing, our element of understanding the energetics of life, the potential that we have to live, it's really common for us to learn that we have to match our frequency to these things. We have to essentially, it almost comes across like we have to heal or change ourselves in order to experience these things. And I've learned that that's not really the case. How I've experienced it is these things exist, and my only priority is to respond and move through life, my physical reality, in alignment with who I know to be, and also to utilize life to know and learn about who I am. So, holding the vision, holding the understanding of where I'm meant to be going, the things that I'm going to experience, while also being able to respond to life as it is right now. And it's tricky because you almost want to bypass the physical reality because you know that this experience is coming, or you want to trust that this experience is coming. So you're looking for the physical validation of your higher understanding and your intuition before even getting to the point of knowing what the physical reality is actually trying to show you, what life is trying to show you. But I think the element of understanding that life is always going to be leading you and taking you to those things, regardless of if you see it now, or regardless of the way that you think you must act. It's this element of, okay, this thing already exists. My intuition can be valid in that. And I'm always going to continuously respond to life as it is now with my inner knowing and my grounded sense of self in this moment. So that includes boundaries. That's including like our ability to be open and honest with ourselves and create or share or whatever that may be. And then those actions end up becoming aligned action. It's almost like you have life, you have yourself, and then you have this like higher knowing intuition. And your life is utilizing these two elements, I guess, where you're using your identity of higher self to make informed decisions about what is aligned in the moment. And by making that connection and being able to move in those energies and understand that you're responding or moving through life while making choices and taking action. And when I say action, I don't mean action as in like hustle, grind. I mean action as in embodiment. So as we move through life, embodying that energy and only responding or accepting or saying yes to the things that we know are in aligned with that sense of self, then we're already going to be obviously perceiving this higher intuition because we can. But it's not for us to create the life that's going to make this come in. It's about being authentically connected to ourselves and moving intuitively with ourselves with life. I can understand this. This topic is like manifestation at its finest, if we want to put it in those terms. For me, I've been really focused on the embodiment of who I am, utilizing life to reflect to me what feels good, who I know myself to be. Like who I knew myself to be 8 years ago is not the same as who I see myself to be now, but I had to live those experiences in order to get a really good self-concept. And within that, I also had to learn how to have a self-concept in my connection to God, source, universe, my higher consciousness, all these things. And then being able to come into balance with understanding how to utilize those energies and how both are true. Like just because I have an intuitive knowing that I'm going to be, I don't know, win the lottery one day does not mean that I have to change my physical reality in order to meet that. It is about being authentic to the version of myself that I know myself to be, to love myself, to honor myself, and to say no to things that aren't in alignment with the energy that I'm looking to experience. And then naturally life is going to gradually bring in these experiences that are meant for me. I don't have to worry about validating my intuition. And that's where I would always get stuck, is like, I'd have this like I'd be so involved in this fear of like, I don't know what I'm going to do if these intuitive things don't happen. Like I'm going to let myself down if I don't do something. Like I have to be this version of myself so that I can make this happen. And I would get stuck in those loops of like mental angst around having to be essentially good enough for myself, rather than understanding that all I need to do in this moment is respond to life and trust that I'm going to respond to life in alignment with where I am right now and what feels good to me, what I want to experience. Do I want to invest energy in this? Do I want to create these videos? Like just responding to life and making sure I'm also honoring myself in the way that I want to be expressed. That's all I have to do. And in doing that, I create a much more grounded trust within myself. And I eliminate the need to be validated by physical reality in order for me to feel safe. And I also eliminate the need for my intuition to control my ability to see life clearly. Like I got so tangled in it that I'd either get lost in the intuition and not be able to perceive life as it is, or I'd get so grounded into life and like my humanness that I wouldn't be able to perceive my intuition as true. And so I'd lose myself on either end and wouldn't be able to fully trust myself through making decisions in life, or being able to trust my intuition, or being able to even receive my intuition and feel confident and safe in in having those moments, I'd push it away. And so all this to say, there's an element of balance that comes with being able to see that intuition and life are both true at the same time. And it's about how we navigate our ability to connect to ourselves and trust ourselves to make aligned decisions in the moment, while also understanding that there's this higher knowing. And they don't actually have to work together per se, in the sense of making them both true at the same time, but you can hold both truths at the same time. I will leave it at that. But please, if you have any questions or you have any reflections or comments that you have on this topic, I'd love to know them in the comments, because we can always keep the conversation going. This is just something that I've been experiencing and investigating within myself, and understanding where I've just been disconnecting from trusting myself because it was so polarized and disconnected in a lot of ways. And I just honestly wanted to share, because I can't be the only one that experiences that. So I'm sending you so much love, and I will talk to you soon.